to further improve how fast you punch people through the roof. Oh, was there ever any certain time when you thought brute force and style combined? Well, I guess now's time to shine, 'cause finally she's here. Here comes Vine. As a matter of fact, the best bet one has is to quickly react to the first attack and save for the bullets. She'll never go back, just listen. Have you ever really wanted to be a total rebel, flipping tables on the enemy? Did you ever try to further improve how fast you punch people through the roof? Oh, was there ever any certain time when you thought brute force and style combined? Well, I guess now's time to shine, 'cause finally she's here. Here comes
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am VerdantChaos, and I'm joined by Abbatrombone. Say hello for us, Abba.
Hey, how's it going?
And we are going to be casting over the nameless Inhouses today. And we're going to be having Golden's team versus the other one. I don't know their other captain. And this is going to be 13.3 after yesterday's fiasco of just bug-ridden client. So I'm excited to see how these games are going to go.
Yeah, hopefully the client doesn't crash like it did last week. Kept crashing when we were trying to spectate games for casting.
So as of now, we aren't seeing any of the drafting going on so far. But I'm kind of excited to see a lot of these AP kind of junglers. They got a little bit of nerfs to them. So I think we're going to be seeing a little bit more variance out of the jungle. In this game, what would you want to see? If you had your druthers, like obviously we can see a whole gambit worth of stuff, but what would you personally want to see here, Abba?
I mean, I've been seeing a lot of like Elises and Hackrams, so just really anything to kind of mix up the jungle would be kind of nice and refreshing. I've been seeing a lot of Ashe support, so maybe seeing something outside of the norm. It's always fun and exciting to watch something else, less of a cookie cutter game, if you will. What would you be looking for?
Well, you do mention these ADC supports, just being able to fill in that role, but you do have the gold nerf to the Umbral Glaive, sorry. And with the nerf on that, we're going to maybe see less of that. So we just finally saw it crop up, but now it's going to be kind of getting the gold nerf on that. But here we are. We're starting up with the draft pick here. All right.
Looks like a Yorick ban. There might be some split push strategies that they're trying to disable. He's very difficult to handle once he gets online, especially with Trinity Force.
I've also seen some of the other builds where some people go like Prowler's Claw or Eclipse and really try to go for that one-shot potential with all of the ghouls there. But don't have to worry about that now.
We won't have to worry about that at all. A lot of AP bans, Silas, Maokai, Seraphine, all of these heavy AP damage. It's going to be pretty interesting. No ultimates to steal this game, and a Draven on top of that. He's very strong in the bot lane. Certainly glad not to see that.
As of right now, as of right now, you're looking at the red side. They have the Maokai Sarah ban. If they add in like another like anti-dive tool, okay, they just want to.
Yeah. No demonic gaming this game.
Absolutely not. Get that out of here. So now we're going to be seeing our first prio pick coming out of this lineup. I think I can. I think in-house, like the red side, they're looking to possibly do a dive. They got rid of the Sarah. They got rid of the Maokai. I think they want to try to be able to get onto the back line. That would be my kind of prediction here, but no one to tell. Uh-oh, we get to see the Ashe.
Hey, if it's Ashe support, it'll be, something I've seen a lot of. But if it's Ashe ADC, that's not something I've seen as much a lot. Obviously, this can be a flex pick for either AD carry or support. Either way, it's going to be some more CC for Golden's team. We'll have to see how the in-house group ends up responding versus Ashe, getting all that vision and a lot of that slow CC. Going in with the Varus, who's also fairly strong right now, able to lock down on his own with his own ultimate. We'll have to see what's being paired with Varus to really get an idea of how this lane is going to go.
So what do you think has more efficiency throughout the game? Do you think that Ashe support is better, or do you think Ashe ADC is better?
It really depends on your skill level. If you're playing Ashe support and you're in these lower elos, it's a lot harder to execute, and you don't necessarily have a lot of the fundamentals to use a lot of her strengths. So once you hit these higher end up divisions, you can really abuse her and get a lot of the utility that you want to get out of this marksman in order to secure a W for your team. So it really depends here. And this looks like more of a mid-range game, so I would expect Ashe support not to be as good. And an Amumu here, another flex for either jungle or support. We'll have to see what their other team comes out to kind of figure out what they might be going with. Oh, and that's a Kindred, definitely an Ashe ADC with an Amumu support. How is Kindred right now?
Kindred's been fairly decent. I definitely have seen a fair bit of it in solo duo, but like their win rate has stayed around like the 53%. So it hasn't been like ridiculously strong, but it hasn't been bad. But ever since the kind of season 13 has been out, Kindred obviously not being able to kill camps as fast, doing 20% less damage. That's been a little bit of a kind of a nerf for the pair, but has still been quite viable at the end of the day. But now we're going to be seeing the Vi band come out. So I think that in-house they're definitely looking to get onto that backline. Well, Karma and Varus, they're going to be playing for the poke, but Vi going to be able to find the Ashe through kind of the quagmire of CC of that is Amumu.
Yeah, that extra mobility that you get from Karma, that extra boost is really helpful, especially with just the shield in general. Going to help this Vi either walk in or maybe help this Varus space out and stay safe, get a lot of the damage that they want. An Annie ban coming out in case they end up clumping it all.
When is the last time you've ever seen an Annie in a game? I have not seen that in a very, very long time.
Yeah, I have yet to see an Annie in a meanwhile. But whenever I do see her, she just seems to kind of pop off. A lot of respect for the champion. Really good to learn mid lane with. Oh, we're going to be seeing a Syndra as well. I've been seeing a fair number of Syndra. A lot of the AP damage coming from her, and she's a great disengage or necessarily a setup with her current build.
So right now, looking at in-houses, the red team side, what is the last champion that really you think rounds out this comp? They have the counter pick, they have this last option. I think Ornn isn't bad here. That definitely will help set up a front line here for the red team.
Yeah, I was thinking of a nice beefy boy as well until I saw that set. Ornn might not be as good there, but he's still certainly a respectable pick. Maybe a Mundo here, he can resist some of that CC that set might be able to have. And get a little bit more of that poke with Karma and Varus and get a lot of that setup.
All right, now we're gonna have the set Vex coming out of the blue side here. We're gonna be a Renekton. All right. So now that we have this locked in here, we see both sides. Who do you think is just your first snap pick? Who has the better late game?
Late game wise, I would have to go with Golden's team. Kindred online with some of these other champions can be quite deadly. Once Kindred gets her marks, it's going to be quite strong. And we've all seen what a late game set can do. Very strong as well. In-house, obviously having a good earlier game and mid game.
So I am a little bit unfamiliar with just kind of the Ashe versus Varus matchup. Who do you think really who goes later out of the two of those there?
Well, both of these guys have a long cooldown, and it's difficult to answer this question because Varus has so many different builds with his lethality, his crit, his on-hit, or just his AP. So it's going to vary a little bit on how he ends up building. But I would say generally Varus is going to be outscaling the Ashe. Ashe is more of a utility marksman, while Varus is more of a high-scaling AD style champion. So we'll probably end up going harder later in this game.
Okay. Then with the Vi versus Kindred, do you think that Vi will be able to create a lot of early tempo here, or is she gonna do you think it would be better for her to play for the later game?
Well, there's a lot of anti-engage with Golden's team. Ashe has some peel, Amumu, and Set, and Vex, I guess, with some of those dashes that Vi and Renekton have, it's going to be a lot harder for her to do, but she's not going to be outscaling this Kindred anytime soon, so she might be wanting to play for maybe a good mid-game here, or maybe just catching out the Kindred, killing him before he is able to ult, and just really set the tempo for the team, get that number advantage with someone being dead on Golden's team.
I really do hope that we get to see the Kindred scale, because obviously until you get 4 marks, you have the range deficit. But once you kind of get over that threshold, it really kind of opens up the champ to kind of play for and have really flashy plays with like the Q hop. I'm forgetting the name of that right now, but then you're just able to space it out nicely. And Kindred can kind of be a little bit of a kind of a skill counter against Syndra, in the sense of in the earlier stages of the game, she'll have to disengage with the ball, throwing the ball at them, but you can sidestep that and really get in close to her, and so she'll have a rough time with that. And obviously the range will help against the Renekton, so I think it'll be a little bit of pressure on the Kindred to perform, but she'll have laners that can roam over to her. She'll have the Ashe being able to throw the R from downtown to help her. You have the Set being able to actually Set's going to be a little bit harder for him to roam. I think it'll be a vicious brawl in the top lane, but Vex can also R from downtown as well to help her out.
Yeah, Renekton being a little bit of a lane bully here, definitely having a little bit of an edge with his dash, being able to avoid Set's W is going to be quite nice for them if they're able to get any sort of setup. Yeah, Kindred, once they get that 4th mark and get that extra range, it's going to help them space out against Varus and Karma and Syndra's artillery style. It's going to be very hard, I think, for Golden's team to get in if the in-house group can set up for some of these objectives. If they're showing up to dragons early, they're going to kind of control that space, and it's going to be at their tempo of how that objective is going to be going, so long as the gold is roughly even.
Right. Well, right now the players are going to be trying to figure out if they're going to be ready or not, but I think that will probably take us over to commercial. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. I am VerdantChaos, and I'm joined again by Abbatrombone, and we are here on Summoner's Rift. It's a nice balmy 72 degrees. No, no wind today, but we're going to be seeing a possible invade here coming from the red side.
Yeah, somebody with a chance of invade, or they're just going to be cheesing the bot lane with 3 people. Something spicy I always like to see. Or
Do you
they're
like
just
to see
hovering.
it?
Well, I'm not in the bot lane this game, so I don't mind.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
This
not
is
my
happening to me.
not my problem.
Different story.
Not my pig, not my farm. All right, fair enough. All
Yeah,
right.
not my mental.
Uh-oh.
It
Scatter
looks like
cat. They're
they're
getting.
seeing.
They're able to trade the early pressure to get that ward. All right, that's fair enough. So right now, Vi has Conquer and Kindred has PTA. So I think we're going to be seeing kind of an earlier aggression out of Kindred, who has also Ghost. So with Kindred being able to set up more kind of aggro, what lane do you really want to gank with them?
If Kindred's going to be setting up for a more aggro lane, they probably want the one with the most reliable CC. Ash's slow plus Amumu's follow-up, or vice versa. That lockdown, I think, is what we're going to be wanting out of that Kindred, and it makes a lot of sense seeing them start top side so that they can path down. Red side, though, does have a nice defensive ward, so they might see this Kindred depending on how their clear times out.
Right now, both top laners are just going to be. I think it's going to be interesting to see who gets that level 2 spike first, and then who's really going to take advantage of that. And we're getting closer and closer to this time.
Yeah, Ambitious looks to be the closest with their caster minions being a little bit healthier than Oaths. Ford's getting a little bit more gold here with the first strike, but getting chunked out by the electrocute.
Ambitious getting this damage off, taking an Oath down to half health, but will Oath be able to throw back some of this damage? It looks like with just the minion count, it's going to be pushing into him. But right now, we have Vi going with a kind of seems to be a bit of a longer clear. Kindred's just going for a possible 4 or 5 camp into a gank.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're getting first blood here with Ambitious. Renekton getting that early gold is always nice. We'll have to see if Kindred's able to get a follow-up play, although Juggernaut is kind of playing safe by their towers. They're going to be having a harder time engaging on them playing safe, especially if Orin can land some more of this poke. Though it looks like we're going to be seeing a lane gank here.
Also, a thing to keep in mind, Saint is also half health, but right now Gid's going to be finding the Q. They're going to get the flash away from the Karma. Is going to get the double fall up on Juggernaut. Juggernaut's going to be getting low, unable to finish the kill on him, and Saint got very low as well. That's going to be double flash and a cleanse out of the red side bot lane. It's well played right there. Brax is going to be flashing in for the Q onto Golden. Golden having to flash out there as well. Definitely just getting a lot of these flashes down for both sides. So a lot of these summoners falling.
Yeah, getting rid of all this mobility early on makes you more vulnerable for all these engages, which means you might be dying later on. It's a long cooldown sitting at 5 minutes.
Ooh, Oath getting that long grab on Ambitious. He's going to be trying to trade back some of this damage. Going to get double dash, but going to be hit by the true damage proc. He's getting closer and closer to the tower. Is he able to finish the kill? He's unable to finish that one off. But right now, Ambitious in a bad spot for the lane.
Yeah, having to chug his pot potions. Getting the level 4 later than Oath, despite getting the kill there.
Ooh,
or is this
right now,
be a
Oath is trying to get the damage off. The W, but the flash coming in from Ambitious, able to secure that kill onto Oath.
Yeah, and with this oncoming wave, that's not going to feel super great for Oath. Not going to be getting some of this farm. The bounce back for him, he might be able to catch some of it, but if Ambitious is able to set up a freeze, it's going to be kind of hard for them to get back into this game.
Right now, both mid laners definitely just kind of survived. Took it nice and easy, but they were running out of mana, so they're both probably going to have to commit their TPs here to get back. But Golden is at obviously a mild disadvantage just because their flash is down right now. But do you think we're going to be seeing some excitement come into the mid lane, or do you think it's just going to be a nice slow farm game?
It's slightly harder to engage, being as Vi, you're using a little dash, and Vex is pretty good at trying to disrupt that. And well, there's a chance if they get low with all of Sports' poke. But I think it's going to be kind of a boring mid lane. We'll be playing for the side lanes here.
Ambitious getting low. Oath landing these true damage cones on the W. Doing a very good job of that. But Ambitious does have level 6.
Level
Will
6.
he be going for the spike here?
Having a Dirk here is pretty nice. But, he has like a good 800 gold lead right now. So the moment he's able to get a back off, it's going to be a lot harder for Oath to do stuff, even if they're able to get some of this farm, get a bounce back. Ambitious is going to be quite deadly coming up here. There's a nice healthy gold lead in the mid lane. No thanks to the first strike.
Getting the long grab onto Noct. Noct has low on mana, but unable to do anything further. This might be a pinch in the river on the top side here. Looks like Brax is going to be getting out on that one.
Yeah, pinging for assist. Looks like they're going to be getting out just fine without Ambitious's health. No farm to come back here. There might be a little bit more dancing here. Maybe we'll fight over a ward. Saint is going to be coming over by one of these control wards as well. There's a potential 2v2 brawling out in the mid lane.
So looking at this game so far, do you want to go for... will Shelly be the first objective, do you think, that will fall? Or do you think it'll be Dragon?
Well, with Ambitious being as big as they are, they're probably going to want to get back off, get a bounce back, and that might lead to a Rift Herald, or it might mean they'll be away from lane for a little bit, and that'll be a first Dragon. The extra shielding and healing is going to be pretty good on both teams. Vi having some shielding and Renekton having some healing in there, as well as Karma's shield. Not to mention, Kindred has a little bit of heal with their ultimate as well. So this Dragon is going to feel nice on both teams, plus with the global gold. So I'm predicting Dragon being the play here to come out first, and with both junglers hovering out here as well for this play.
Sadly, we haven't seen any of the junglers are going to be soon approaching level 6, and when they are able to do so, I think it's going to be kind of cool seeing the Vi jump in. But right now, Saint going to be popping Ghost, going in on Sports, going to be pushing into that. They're going to be getting the ultimate off onto him. Saint's going to be picking up the kill onto Sports there. Well played, well found on him. But now Rax is going to be coming in with the flash, going to be missing the engage onto Saint, and now is going to be looking like they might barely get on out here. They're getting the damage there. They're getting the slow. Saint might be able to get the damage. Ooh, gets the Q on out of there.
Losing those flashes and being so low means you're going to be down for objectives. And with Kindred's mark being down here already, they're going to be getting one more mark at 8 minutes in the game. That's going to feel quite nice as Saint.
Speaking of Kindred, how many marks do we have here going? Is there any way for... I am on... Oh, we have one mark going so far. So one mark, 8 minutes. A little bit on the slower side of things, but I think that we definitely have a lot more game here. This is kind of going a little bit slower pace, only 3 kills. But right now we're going to get a double stun onto Orion. Orion's going to be going down, and that's going to be uncontested. Not much damage coming back from them on the red side. So I spoke too soon. I said 3 kills in 9 minutes. That's now 4 kills. So, but...
A nice chunk on Oath as well. Juggernaut's in a bit of a sad spot here, being low on mana with the wave coming into their tower, and Dragon coming up, or is kind of online right now. Gonna make things difficult. We're gonna be seeing a back here. Hopefully they don't lose too much CS with this back. Trying to even out this gold from on characters.
So right now, I think that Ambitious is going to be, and if I had to guess, is going to be going for a Prowler's Claw? Or would you think that he's going to be going for an Eclipse? Now that Eclipse doesn't have Omnivamp, I would be interested to see where he really takes this item build.
Yeah, the Prowler's Claw, of course, is going to be an extra dash, which is always nice, although there is a Vex.
So Sports has no flash. That's going to be a grab onto Gid, and from Gid, Sports is going to be going down here to Gid. Rax is trying to get out the best they can. Golden getting the pickup onto Brax. But right now, the two right now they're going to be going in onto Scattercat. That's flash in from Jugger. Jugger is going to be putting the damage in, trying to pick up this kill. That's a heal from Scatter. The Scatter going to be able to get on out of here, but it's looking like a no.
A nice return kill is going to help even things out. And Varus getting online is going to be a lot of damage for the red side. You know, that was a beautiful play mid. This might be changing into a Rift Scuttler here. Kindred kind of walking up. And Ambitious is getting poked under tower. They certainly have the prio with Golden being with Golden shoving mid lane and Oath shoving as well.
Right now, Ambitious is in just a very bad spot. Has to now commit the ultimate to heal on up. Otherwise, they're going to be going down. You get the Flash Ignite onto Oath. Oath is then going to be flashing into it with the cone, but is then going to be falling down to the magic burn from the Renekton there. So well played by Ambitious.
Yeah, that was very well played by Ambitious, being 3 kills deep already and having a nice farm lead at 22 farm. Once Oath gets that Bork, that might change things around. That is a very big 1-item spike and is going to stop some of Renekton's ability to disengage here. Gid stopping.
Gid with the rude back. But now Orion has a really good angle. Gid's going to be ultied by the Varus, but he doesn't have much mana to go for the engage. But then he's going to be going down to Juggernaut as well. Juggernaut's getting big, slowly but surely. But then it's going to be a return R from Scatter. Scatter is going to be sad because that's instantly cleansed by Jugger. So no return damage back onto him.
No return damage here. Aegis having Rift Herald, the first Rift Herald, is going to be worth more gold than this first dragon here, sitting at nearly 12 minutes for the first dragon, quite late, but the gold has finally evened out between teams, and Ambitious did end up getting that Prowler's Claw.
All right. One really important thing about the Prowler's Claw in this particular matchup is then whenever Set commits to like the W for the massive shield, you can then Prowler's Claw through him, get behind him, take none of the damage, and now you have a damage buff against him. So I think this set really has to watch out, or otherwise Oath is going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, and those auto attacks are going to hurt a lot less with his plated steel caps as well. That less damage going to smark. And the extra dash, as you mentioned, is pretty nice, with Renekton already having 1 or 2 if he's super angry.
I think that's exactly what it says on the tooltip. But right now, Sports is kind of being dove in, but then they had the very good pushback on that and getting away from that play. So good awareness on Sports there.
Yeah, good reaction time and instant nope onto Gid's Shadow Slayer, or Shade Slayer. There's not a whole lot of objectives right now. Kindred might be trying to work for this mark on Raptors, but it looks like Rats.
Ambitious going in on Oath. Oath getting low, but he's now definitely going to have a hard time trying to last hit under the tower. Renekton does have the R that's up, and Ignite is going to be coming up in about like 30 or so seconds. So he's going to have to probably just leave out of this area. But right now we have Saint coming in with the ultimate. Ambitious going to be living here. Saint was unable to save their teammate, and Oath is going to be falling yet again.
Yeah, ulting away from the Kindred did make it harder for Aegis to kind of follow up on that engage. So Ambitious is being able to walk away, although if they are able to get it, that's going to be a 450 gold shutdown. So almost... Oh, it's only 400 now. The CS gap must have changed things up with how League does that.
I think if you could get that extra 700 gold onto the Kindred, that would be very important for the blue side here.
Oh yeah, getting an extra 700 gold on your carry, that's double longsword or finishing stuff up for some extra cooldown, or just finishing your boots, getting some extra auto attacks is always nice.
You walk it up, dropping that Shelly, here you go. Sadly, it wasn't taken before the 14-minute mark, so we're going to be getting no plates from that, but we're going to be getting extra turret damage on the middle tower, but it's still looking quite healthy at about 30, I'd say about 33% health there. So we're unable to snag any of these towers quite yet.
Yeah, mid tower going down is going to enable some of the Kindred's invades. Oh, no,
Jugger is caught out by that R, but they're unable to follow up. Right now, Gid is going to be going in onto Juggernaut. Juggernaut's going to get locked down into Oblivion and going to be dying to Scatter. But right now, Sports is coming in for the rotation. Brax is going to be there as well, but Shade getting the Q over the wall. Good awareness on Gid there. Going to be getting out of that dicey situation.
Yeah, with Orion and Juggernaut's positioning, they weren't able to execute any sort of parallel trading, so they were kind of pinched up while Gid, Shade Slayer, and Cat were together.
Ooh.
Oh,
Instantly finding Brax right there. Gid's going to be following up with the Q. He's going to be then picking it up for Scatter Shot at Scattercat there. Well played by them.
yeah, certainly well played. Being together by your engaged support enables all sorts of kills to happen, which is going to get them right back into this game.
Gonna get the dash coming in back in from Ambitious. Ambitious gonna be able to chunk him out pretty freely at this point. Also, he now has the Vamp Scepter, so he has a lot more sustain with his Q and then his auto attacks. So, at this point, gonna be committing the Prowler's Claw, using the R to get that extra health, and that's gonna be another kill out of the top lane.
Instantly deleted. Not going to be able to do enough damage to the tower in order to stop this teleport from Golden. But nonetheless, a lot of pressure being executed topside. We'll have to see how this is going to be transitioning once this top tower is finally cracked. They might be switching with mid lane or perhaps bot lane to try and get those, being Renekton side lane so safely here.
Well, right now we have Shelly that's going to be coming up in like less than a minute here. Do you think that this is going to be the next objective to look at, or do you think they're going to be looking at Dragon, who's also coming up in under a minute?
Yeah, I would assume Dragon here.
Juggernaut instantly getting the cleanse off of that. He's trying to get away best he can. He's going to be getting away from this damage, but it is very low under tower. Saint is trying to go further for this kill. Is going to be using the R to get away from this damage. Ooh, Gid's going to be then dying to Orion after that ultimate goes on down. Sports is trying to find some pickup here. Are they able to land the CC needed? Is going to be getting the R off, but Scatter's going to be finding Juggernaut before they go down.
The slow makes it so hard to run away from Ashe, and taking some of that minion aggro certainly didn't help. But with Kindred having to back here, they might be able to take the dragon. Syndra certainly does hurt, and this is going to be the second tower. My apologies, with mid going down. Renekton's going to be able to push this further. Maybe choke out Oath even more, and maybe perhaps take some of Aegis's jungle now with it being exposed. No tower to run to.
So now with Dragon going down, there's only a 600 gold lead. Like, this has just been a very, very close game so far. But there's going to be a slight advantage on the red side, having two towers take. Even towers amount taken, but
even towers.
The objective difference.
Yeah, 2 dragons to that first Rift Herald. This second one is not going to be worth as much as the first one statistically because of those platings, but we didn't see platings with the first one, so it might not be worth that much at all. But with topside being down already, Renekton doesn't have as much to do, so Ambitious is just able to really hit this and exert some pressure.
Ooh, Sport's going to be taking Scatter down to half, and now going to be flashing over the wall, getting the R onto Scatter. Scatter just instantly melted by Sports there.
Yeah, Sports be balling here. Taking out Ashe with that flash. Extra damage. We do this. Looks like Ambitious is going to be lane swapping here. A lot of people are going to be able to fight the set with them being so low. Or perhaps they're just taking it back here when they were hovering mid.
So now you have Shelly. You're kind of getting a lot of this momentum out of your top laner. Do you want to just keep him in the top lane, or do you want to put him somewhere else?
Well, the further you go in, the easier it is for you to get picked off. With these extra dashes and the 2 items that they have, a 2,000 gold lead on Oath, it probably is safe to continue going top to take this, but them going bot is probably going to be the safer and more consistent play. Getting those side towers really makes it more difficult to get these objectives, being those lanes are just going to be pushing on their own. No tower to protect and delete those waves when they walk up.
So do you think that the Syndra's going to be having a hard time against Oath just because he can flash R and put out a fair bit of damage, or do you think that Syndra going to have a very easy time spacing?
I think if Sports plays nice and patient, they should be able to do a whole lot. Oh,
wow. Melting him. Wow, that R is just putting in the work right now. Ambitious going in on Golden and getting the damage off, but she's going to be committing everything back to it, but Ambitious is going to be finding that pickup despite taking that tower damage.
Vex charging in with her ult, and Renekton just taking it in open arms, slicing and dicing through this Vex. This might be bot tower here, folks. A lot of gold going on to Ambitious. 2 items already at 20 minutes is quite good. And with Rift Herald in his arsenal, that's a lot of pushing power here. This could also be a Baron should red side play things correctly. Oath is TPing in here. Probably going to get pushed
almost a
Brax
grab
off
off
here.
of Brax. Right now, he's going to be getting low here. Is Brax going to be able to get this kill? He's going to be going on down, and Saint's going to be barely surviving. Now, they're most likely going to be getting the pickup onto Sports, and that's going to be pickup for Oath, getting the 600 gold shutdown onto him. Maybe that's going to give him the life he really needs to get back into this game.
Yeah, Baron shredding away resistances does make your team more vulnerable. And Ambitious wasn't pulling that many people. They just ended up letting them split push. So taking that fight there was always going to be a number disadvantage, leading to their deaths and getting a lot of gold back onto Golden's team. Still, though, Golden's team is still at a 2,000 gold deficit. No thanks to this Renekton putting in the work. Ambitious is certainly looking like an MVP contender for this game.
Ambitious, if you could say, is being very ambitious, definitely taking a lot of these towers. So,
yeah. And Aegis isn't quite online yet, only having 2 marks at 21 minutes, almost 22 here, possibly dying.
Oh, that's going to be Prowlers through Saint, and Saint's going to be instantly picked up by Ambitious. Too much damage coming out there, and are little too late from Scatter.
Yeah, almost stopping the back there. Fortunately, it's not that long of a cooldown, even without having any CDR in your build, already sitting here at 1/4 of the way complete. Sports really hurting here. Thank goodness
that's going to be
our
coming out from Sports. Oath able to survive here, but now is going to be collapsed on. Is Gid going to be able to find this grab onto him? Right now, that's Golden's R coming down, has the stopwatch here. Brax is going to be trying to get the shove away, but Sports is going to be going down here maybe. Ooh, barely getting it out by just a tickle of health here, but now they're going to be chasing down. Are they going to be able to get the pickup on Brax? They are able to slam Brax into her there, and Sports is going to be going down. Oath is going all in, does not care. Oh, the W true damage almost got there. Brax getting out with barely anything.
Yeah,
wow.
Very
awareness by Oath there.
Yeah,
Oath being able to grab him, slam him in, and just RKO him into Sports there. It's quite sad for him, but Ambitious is going to be diving in onto Saint, is unable to get the instant pickup onto him because of the ultimate, but Juggernaut's then able to get the pickup from there. Scatter's trying to run as fast as they can, flash after by Juggernaut, but then is going to be flashing away themselves.
Yeah, this could easily be third Drake here with Aegis being down. They'll be able to take it, and they have this early vision, as I mentioned in the draft phase. It's going to be difficult for Golden's team to be able to approach here, especially with the vision line and the gold lead that they have.
So next item that Renekton's going to be getting here is the Death Dance, and from here it's going to be brutal, but he's just going to be going in again on Golden and just tearing her apart. He is just going to be uncontested on this map unless they send, honestly, probably 3 people at this point.
Yeah, a lot of healing and a lot of resistances out of this Drake with Ocean and Chemtech. That's going to be quite good with this Death Dance sitting at 24 minutes, 3 items. It's going to be quite painful for the enemy team. I would not want to be fighting this Renekton as an AD carry if I was in this game for sure.
That the red side also is trying to get a vision line set up for the Baron. Do you think Baron is a good call here? With it, you only have a 2.5 K gold lead. Do you think it's a little bit too ambitious to go for this, or do you think that this is a good call here?
Well, if they're spotting Kindred bot side here, there's no way they're going to be able to contend it. And with 5 people and gold advantage and numbers, you should be able to take it easily.
Finding the damage onto Scatter. That's going to be a flash coming in. That's going to be an R drag onto Brax, but Scatter's going to be getting very low here. Are they going to be able to get the pickup onto him? Getting a lot of this damage coming out. Juggernaut's going to be able to get the pickup. Right now, Gid's trying to get away with their life. Golden's going to be going down to Sports, and Sports absolutely just killing people with these balls here. Orion's going to be grabbed by Oath, but Oath is now in a dangerous situation. Is going to be... That is absolutely brutal damage coming out of Ambitious there. Good lord. Yeah, wow. So now that you have Baron, do you just want to shove this mid, or do you want it as 5, or do you want to really split up this Baron buff?
Well, Ambitious has been able to handle them their own. So just putting them in their own little lane, they're going to have to send how many people to stop them, which enables your other squad to go ahead and push. So I think a 4-1 split would be pretty good here. Looks like they're going for a 1-3-1 with Sports going top, their main squad in the mid, and Ambitious going bot lane, being able to push here. It's the furthest tower away from them, so it certainly makes sense for Ambitious to do that.
So a question about the sets build. Do you think that a 25-minute Heartsteel is fine here, or would you have wanted to see a different mythic coming out of him?
Well, playing to scale here probably isn't correct, especially with the tempo that this has been going at. If it's a much slower game, you might as well do that. If it's going to take a while, it's going to draw out, you might be able to get some stats here. But if you're just dying instantly to Sports or Ambitious, you're not going to be able to get those procs off. You're probably going to be going with something that gives you a little bit more of a defensive option, or perhaps just being able to bruiser out some of these pushier targets.
Sports getting in the damage here, but now that's going to be a Ghost coming in from Saint. She's going to be TPing on out. Can she get out before the damage comes through? But Saint's going to be able to pick up that damage. And I can at least watch stream, but right now my League of Legends has crashed, ladies and gentlemen.
Mine has as well.
Uh-oh. Something's definitely going on. Something's a-brewing.
Storms are brewing. Well, it looks like we can watch from Discord over here. Juggernaut potentially getting
Juggernaut's
caught
in a bad
out here.
position. Is going to be instantly able to cleanse that the R coming in from the Ashe, but right now Golden's going to be jumping in with the damage. Brax is going to be getting low. Golden's going to be able to pick that up. Golden's going to be then going in on Juggernaut. Juggernaut's getting very low here. Gid's barely trying to survive. But right now, Ambitious is going to be taking 2 with him before he... And now he's going to be taking a 3rd. This is just a slaughter. This is damn near a one-man show. Ambitious just going to work.
Yeah, 12 kills certainly being very deadly on their own. You know, with Baron buff being gone on most of these targets, it might not matter with how strong Ambitious is chunking Aegis in their own base. And, of course, the cannon minions laying siege to these towers.
Another notable thing is that we have the 4th dragon coming up, and that would be a Mountain Soul for the red team, which I think would probably be the nail in the coffin for this game.
So it certainly is a win con coming up in 30 seconds. And with these waves shoving, it's going to be difficult for Golden's team to be able to get in here and put in some work and try and do it. It looks like Aegis isn't going to even try and steal here, just hoping that they're not able to end the game with the soul and maybe scale a little harder and win this game out.
So right now, blue side, they're definitely they're in the gauntlet right now, and the chips are against them. How do you want what do you need to do to get back into this game?
In this game, you're probably just going to want to be saying, you know what, I'm not able to challenge you in this objective, and maybe just push out these waves and get as much gold. Objective bounties are going to help get you into this game. It might not cover up the full 6,000 gold difference, but it's somewhere to start.
All right, so would you put that push in the top lane or the mid lane right now?
I'd put it in top lane. I don't want to.
That's going to be a grab onto Ambitious. He does have a GA here, but it looks like he's going to be going down for the first part of it. But now he's going to be trapped in the midst of that entire team. Is he going to be able to get out? It looks like this damage is going to be finally taking him down. That's going to be a pickup onto Scatter. It's a lot of money for him, but they had to commit a lot of ultimates. Now they're going to be fighting over this dragon, and Vi going to be still able to grab that. And now Orion's going to be chasing down Golden. Golden trying to get out the best they can. Going to be R'ing over the wall. Going over for Sports. Sports full health. Juggernaut's able to get that pickup. But now Gid's trying to get out with their life. Is unable to find that. That's going to be a pickup on Brax. And now I believe this will be game.
Yeah, certainly a respectable option to try and fight it out. Get the good fight, try and steal it, and maybe delay the inevitable here. You know, Ambitious finally dying. They're able to get the shutdown gold. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit too late with their Nexus going down, and no one's going to be up for a good 10 seconds. Forge may be trying to one-shot someone at Fountain, or going for a classic death in the enemy base, getting a touchdown, although that does not count as 7 kills or points for the enemy team.
Okay. That's actually fairly funny. I'm like that, or just limit testing of how much turret at Fountain damage.
The 666 score, classic way to end the game right there.
So in post, kind of looking at this game, who do you think was the MVP? I'd say for Golden's team. I think I think it's kind of a standout to say like who it was for the red side, but who would you say for Golden's team?
We saw some pretty good rotations from Vex there, and Asher's ultimate was able to get a lot of picks, or at least get some vision with that as well. So, as an AD carry main, I'm gonna have to pick Ash.
Okay, yeah, I think Scatter had some definitely very good ultimates here, and I think sadly a lot of times it just matched up with Juggernaut's cleanse, so it was instantly kind of purged in some of these ways, but the other like 2 times in which kind of cleanse wasn't up, they were really good pickups on a Juggernaut.
They were able to force that cleanse out, and then Vex was able to land their ultimate as well, and you can't cleanse once you've already used it, so that fear was hitting, and the shield bow damage didn't necessarily negate all of Vex's ability to go in, so it's still putting in the work, even with the cleanse going away.
I was sad that really Saint of Edge just wasn't really able to get off the ground as much as I would have wanted to kind of get a lot of those marks earlier on, and we weren't able to see just the 1v9 Kindred. I personally I love the champ, so that's just what I would have loved. Not saying that Saint did anything wrong, but I was sad to not see it just go absolutely just wild that game.
Yeah, Kindred can be very entertaining to watch with all those hops, the resets, and just the amount of burst damage people don't suspect, especially when you go press the attack. Getting those 3 hits really pops some targets like balloons.
Absolutely. So now as we wait for the next link to be coming up, I think that'll take us on over to commercial again. right, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that it was only going to be that one game for the night, and that will be all for us. So I would like to thank my co-caster Abbatrombone. Thank you very much for joining me here today.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a blast casting with you. Hopefully, we can do this again with some
Yes,
more
sir.
games.
And I would also like to thank Matthew, the person behind the screen. We're unable to see him, but thank you very much, Matthew, for all of your help tonight. And that will be all here. Stay frosty, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.